Welcome to Hollywood World. In this video, we're going to take a nostalgic journey back to the 1960s, a golden decade in Hollywood history, filled with glamour, change, and unforgettable performances. While some movies from the 60s remain legendary, others have faded into the background, buried under time and trends. But today, we're dusting off the reels and spotlighting 11 forgotten 1960s films that are still absolutely incredible and deserve your attention. These gems are filled with gripping performances, bold storytelling, and a legacy that continues to inspire modern cinema. So, if you're a true movie buff or just curious about what made 1960s cinema so magical, stay tuned. You might just discover your next favorite film. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on the video. We'd love to hear which one of these films you've seen or want to watch next. 1. The Pawnbroker, 1964. Starring Rod Steiger. A bold, haunting film that was far ahead of its time, The Pawnbroker centers on Saul Nazerman, a Holocaust survivor living in Harlem who emotionally detaches himself from the world. Rod Steiger gives a masterclass in acting, portraying a man haunted by trauma and memory. Directed by Sidney Lumet, this film broke barriers with its themes and raw emotion. It was one of the first mainstream American films to deal openly with the Holocaust and featured groundbreaking elements like partial nudity and rapid-fire editing. Though critically acclaimed upon release, The Pawnbroker is rarely discussed today. But it's a powerful reminder of how trauma lingers and how pain can isolate the soul. Steiger earned a well-deserved Oscar nomination for his performance. It's not an easy watch, but it's unforgettable, and it's time it found its place again in film conversations. 2. The Pumpkin Eater, 1964. Starring Anne Bancroft, Peter Finch. This psychological drama is a hidden treasure in 1960s British-American cinema. Anne Bancroft plays Jo Armitage, a woman spiraling through emotional confusion and marital dissatisfaction. Her performance is both subtle and devastating. Written by Harold Pinter and based on the novel by Penelope Mortimer, The Pumpkin Eater digs deep into the psyche of a woman trapped by motherhood, infidelity, and societal expectations. Bancroft won Best Actress at Cannes and earned an Oscar nomination, yet the movie remains shockingly obscure today. Peter Finch plays her cheating husband with uncomfortable realism. The dialogue is sparse but biting, and the emotional weight is heavy. If you appreciated films like Revolutionary Road or Marriage Story, this film was their spiritual predecessor. Raw, poetic, and unapologetically female-driven. 3. Lilith, 1964. Starring Warren Beatty, Gene Seberg. In Lilith, Warren Beatty plays Vincent, a war veteran working at a mental institution who becomes entranced by a beautiful, mysterious patient named Lilith, portrayed by Gene Seberg. This film is haunting, lyrical, and quietly tragic. The chemistry between Beatty and Seberg is intoxicating, and the film's moody atmosphere is strikingly modern. Directed by Robert Rossen in his final work before his death, Lilith explores mental illness, obsession, and the blurred lines between reality and delusion. It's a film that unfolds like a dream, or a slow-burning nightmare. Despite its artistic elegance, the film was overshadowed by Beatty's later hits. Today, it's rarely mentioned, yet it was one of the most psychologically nuanced films of the decade. It's time Lilith reclaims its place as a chilling, melancholic masterpiece. 4. The Swimmer, 1968. Starring Burt Lancaster. The Swimmer is one of the most surreal, tragic, and underappreciated films of the 1960s. Burt Lancaster plays Ned Merrill, a man who decides to swim home across his neighbor's pools, only to unravel along the way. What starts as a whimsical idea becomes a harrowing exploration of memory, denial, and lost status. Lancaster's performance is quietly desperate beneath his athletic charm, portraying a man confronting the collapse of his life and illusions. Adapted from a short story by John Cheever, the film is both simple and profoundly existential. Its fragmented structure and dreamlike tone make it feel like a cross between Mad Men and David Lynch. The Swimmer was a financial failure and suffered production issues, including a last-minute director switch. But today, it stands as a daring, philosophical time capsule, and it still hits hard. 5. Petulia, 1968, starring Julie Christie, George C. Scott. Petulia is one of the most stylish and overlooked social critiques of the 1960s. Set in San Francisco, it tells the story of a disillusioned doctor who becomes involved with a quirky, troubled young woman. Julie Christie is unforgettable as Petulia, a woman caught between rebellion and trauma. George C. Scott, known for tough roles like Patton, delivers a shockingly vulnerable performance here. The film's editing and structure were groundbreaking. It used flashbacks and fast cuts to mirror the chaos of love, war, and cultural change during the late 60s. Director Richard Lester, of A Hard Day's Night, used avant-garde techniques to blur reality and fantasy. The result, a movie that feels like it belongs in today's arthouse cinema rather than a forgotten relic. It's stylish, tragic, and deeply moving. A true time capsule that still speaks volumes. 6 Seconds, 1966. Starring Rock Hudson. Imagine a world where you can abandon your life and start anew with a brand new face. That's the eerie premise of Seconds, one of the most chilling sci-fi dramas ever made. Rock Hudson plays a man who undergoes a radical identity-altering procedure, only to discover that rebirth doesn't erase internal emptiness. His performance is shockingly raw and anti-heroic, quite different from his usual suave roles. Directed by John Frankenheimer, this black and white masterpiece blends body horror, psychological suspense, and Cold War paranoia. The cinematography by James Wong Howe is nightmarishly beautiful, using fisheye lenses and close-ups to emphasize alienation. Seconds bombed on release and nearly ended Hudson's career, but it has since become a cult favorite. For fans of Black Mirror, this is required viewing. 7. The Sand Pebbles, 1966. Starring Steve McQueen, Richard Attenborough. Set in 1920s China during political unrest, The Sand Pebbles follows an American gunboat crew navigating colonial tension and personal morality. Steve McQueen earned his only Oscar nomination for this film, playing Jake Hallman, a sailor questioning military obedience. The film is long, slow-burning, and meditative. Its exploration of imperialism, duty, and culture clash was surprisingly ahead of its time. Director Robert Wise, fresh off The Sound of Music, delivered a thoughtful epic instead of another popcorn adventure. The set design, battle sequences, and philosophical undertones make this more than just a war film. It was well received at the time but has since fallen from public memory. Rewatching it today, you'll see how relevant and well-crafted it truly is. 8. This Sporting Life, 1963. Starring Richard Harris, Rachel Roberts. This British drama focuses on a brutish rugby player and his toxic, heartbreaking relationship with a widowed landlady. Richard Harris is absolutely ferocious as Frank Machen, a man drowning in masculinity, anger, and need. Rachel Roberts gives a deeply layered performance as the emotionally damaged woman he pursues. Their volatile relationship is both intimate and harrowing. This Sporting Life was one of the cornerstones of the British New Wave. Its kitchen sink realism, bleak cinematography, and unflinching character study helped redefine film in the UK. It earned Harris a Best Actor nomination and won Rachel Roberts a BAFTA. Despite the acclaim, it's almost never discussed today. It deserves rediscovery for its raw honesty and unforgettable performances. 9. The Servant, 1963. Starring Dirk Bogarde, James Fox. This twisted tale of class reversal and psychological manipulation is a masterstroke in tension. The Servant features Dirk Bogarde as a cunning manservant who slowly dismantles the life of his aristocratic employer. Directed by Joseph Losey and written by Harold Pinter, the film uses minimalism and claustrophobic spaces to explore themes of power, identity, and desire. The sexual tension between the two men simmers just below the surface, making the film daringly queer-coded for its time. Bogarde's transformation from passive servant to dominant force is mesmerizing. Critically lauded but largely forgotten today, The Servant is a slow-burn psychological thriller that influenced later classics like The Talented Mr. Ripley and Parasite. It's eerie, poetic, and way ahead of its time. 10. The Hill, 1965. Starring Sean Connery. Want to see Sean Connery in one of his best roles outside of James Bond? Look no further than The Hill, a brutal military prison drama. Connery plays a rebellious soldier imprisoned in a North African detention camp where the punishment is both physical and psychological. The infamous Hill, a man-made mountain of sand, is where prisoners are tortured under the guise of discipline. Directed by Sidney Lumet, the film is shot in stark black and white and filled with moral ambiguity. The cast is excellent, the tension suffocating, and Connery proves his range with a deeply layered performance. The Hill was overlooked, possibly because audiences expected Bond-like action from Connery. Instead, they got a harsh, thought-provoking critique of authority and brutality. It deserves far more recognition today. 11. The Innocents, 1961. Starring Deborah Kerr. A gothic horror gem based on Henry James's The Turn of the Screw, The Innocents is terrifying in the most elegant way. Deborah Kerr plays a governess who becomes convinced the children she's caring for are possessed. With its eerie atmosphere, chilling sound design, and ambiguous story, the film paved the way for modern horror masterpieces like The Others and Hereditary. Kerr's performance is understated and chilling, an unraveling of sanity wrapped in Victorian lace. The film's power lies in what it doesn't show, building dread through suggestion rather than shock. It's frequently forgotten amid louder horror classics, but The Innocents remains one of the most psychologically rich horror films ever made. If you're into slow-burn ghost stories, don't skip this one. And there you have it, 11 forgotten films from the 1960s that are still absolutely incredible today. Each of these cinematic treasures holds a mirror to its era while offering timeless performances, emotional depth, and visionary storytelling. Sometimes, the most powerful movies are the ones waiting quietly in the shadows to be rediscovered. So if you're tired of modern reboots and want to experience the raw heart of classic cinema, give these films a second look, you won't regret it. Which one are you most excited to watch? Or did we miss a hidden gem that you think deserves a spotlight? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to help more film lovers uncover the forgotten gold of the 60s. Thanks for watching Hollywood World. Until next time, keep the reel rolling.